It was supposed to be a story about competition. About Alexandra Eala's opening round showdown against Donna Vekic. The Berlin Open was meant to focus on Wimbledon seeding, grasscourt preparation, and the road toward the year's third Grand Slam. But then something happened that nobody expected. Not a win. Not a loss. Something entirely different. Something that left the tennis world surprised. Alexandra Eala advanced to the next round of the Berlin Open without striking a single ball. Fans were confused. Analysts were stunned. And the question everyone wanted answered was simple. What happened? And perhaps even more importantly, what does it mean for Eala's Wimbledon hopes? Berlin, Germany. June 2026. The Rot-Weiss Tennis Club. Alexandra Eala arrived in Germany expecting a battle. Not only on the court, but also for a place in the main draw. The field was loaded. 6 of the world's top 10 players were entered, including world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka and world no. 2 Elena Rybakina. Eala, ranked number 35 in the world, was originally expected to fight through qualifying simply to earn a spot in the main tournament. Then everything changed. A series of withdrawals reshaped the draw. Mira Andreeva, fresh from her French Open title run, withdrew in order to focus on preparing for Wimbledon. Belinda Bencic pulled out because of an ankle issue. Amanda Anisimova withdrew shortly before the event after suffering back spasms. Those withdrawals created openings in the draw. And Eala became one of the beneficiaries. Tournament officials announced that Eala had received a wild card into the main draw. The news spread rapidly throughout the Filipino community. Social media erupted. Fans celebrated. A wild card at a WTA 500 tournament is more than a simple invitation. It is recognition. It is a statement that organizers believe you belong on the same stage as the sport's elite. For Eala, who had recently captured the Birmingham Open title and reached the round of 16 at Queen's Club, the opportunity served as validation. For Filipino supporters, it was another sign that the tennis world was finally paying attention. But the wild card came with challenges. The main draw leaves little room for mistakes. And Eala's opening round opponent was scheduled to be Croatia's Donna Vekic. The player affectionately known by many Filipino fans as Tita Donna. The 29-year-old veteran had just captured the Queen's Club Championships in London as a lucky loser. She defeated The Croatian also became the first lucky loser since 2023 to finish a tournament week as a WTA champion. She entered Berlin full of confidence. She had momentum. She was playing outstanding tennis. And she appeared ready for another challenge. The match between Eala and Vekic was officially scheduled. Fans were excited. The cameras were prepared. Steffi Graf Stadium was ready for what looked like a fascinating contest. Then everything changed. A walkover. Eala advanced without playing a single point. The tennis world was stunned. How could a walkover happen at a WTA 500 tournament? The answer was hidden within the chaos created by the constantly changing draw. Vekic's availability had already become a major question because she was still competing at Queen's Club. Her championship match had taken place during the same weekend. The concern was whether she would even arrive in Berlin in time for her scheduled first-round match. That uncertainty lingered over the tournament. Then the official confirmation arrived. The match would not take place. Eala received a walkover. She advanced to the round of 16 without stepping onto the court. Fans were left speechless. Some celebrated. A direct path into the next round felt like a fortunate break. Others were confused. How could a player advance without playing? A few questioned whether the outcome was fair. But the regulations were straightforward. When a player withdraws or cannot compete, the opponent automatically advances. That's how the rule works. Filipino supporters, however, were not complaining. Eala had just received a valuable opportunity. She would now face Elena Rybakina, the world number 2, in the round of 16. A huge challenge. But also a huge opportunity. A chance to prove she belongs among the very best players in the world. A chance to strengthen her case for Wimbledon seeding. The walkover meant she would enter the match fresh. She would be rested. And she would be ready for perhaps the biggest battle of her grass court season. At the same time, the walkover ensured that the highly anticipated clash between Eala and Vekic would never happen. And for many fans, that was disappointing. Because this matchup had already produced some of the most entertaining tennis of the season. Eala and Vekic had faced each other twice before. And on both occasions, Eala had come away with the victory. The first meeting took place at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, on January 6, 2026. It turned into a demanding 3-set contest. Vekic claimed the opening set 6-4 and appeared firmly in control of the match. But Eala refused to go away. She battled back to capture the second set 6-4 before securing the third by the same score. It was a determined victory that highlighted Eala's resilience and competitive spirit under pressure. Their second encounter came a little more than a week later at the Kuyan Classic exhibition event in Melbourne. This time, Eala looked even more comfortable. She earned a straight sets victory, 6-3, 6-4. 2 meetings. 2 wins. At that point, Eala had clearly enjoyed success against Vekic. Heading into the expected Berlin showdown, many analysts and oddsmakers leaned toward Vekic, and understandably so. She was in excellent form. Yet Eala had already shown she possessed the tools needed to beat her. The rivalry itself was built on mutual admiration. Vekic was more than just another opponent. For many Filipino fans, she had become something of an honorary Filipina. Speaking to reporters, Vekic once said, "I've played her 2 times. I lost 2 times. But she seems like a really sweet girl." She also joked about her connection with Filipino supporters. "I told them maybe you'll adopt me. And I definitely feel that you have." Fans responded by giving her the affectionate nickname, Tita Donna, a reflection of the warmth and genuine appreciation she showed toward the Philippines. So when news of the walkover became official, there was no real celebration. Instead, there was disappointment. A match many people had been looking forward to would never happen. The walkover carries significant implications for Eala's Wimbledon campaign. She currently sits at world number 35. The Wimbledon seeding cutoff is scheduled for June 22. The top 32 players receive seeded positions, which offer protection in the draw and generally prevent meetings with the highest-ranked players until later rounds. Eala remains right on the edge. She needs to stay inside that top 32 range. The walkover helps because it moves her directly into the round of 16 without requiring her to play an opening round match. But the difficult part still awaits. Standing across the net will be Elena Rybakina, the world number 2. If Eala defeats Rybakina, she could collect enough ranking points to strengthen her chances of securing a Wimbledon seed. Even with a loss, other results around the tour could still work in her favor. But a victory would provide a much safer cushion. As one report explained, Eala needs to reach the top 32 by the June 22 cutoff, and a strong performance in Berlin could help make that happen. The stakes are enormous. A Wimbledon seed would represent a major milestone in Eala's career. It would provide a more favorable draw position. It would increase the possibility of a deeper run. And it would send a clear message throughout the tennis world. Alexandra Eala belongs among the sport's established contenders. There is also another factor at play. Eala is scheduled to lose 163 ranking points from her runner-up finish at Eastbourne in 2025. Those points come off her record on June 22, the exact date of the Wimbledon seeding cutoff. Once they disappear, her ranking could slip. That makes a strong result in Berlin even more important. She needs fresh points to offset those losses. The walkover helps because it creates an opportunity to earn additional points without the danger of an early round defeat. Now the walkover is in the past. The discussion is over. The real challenge begins. Elena Rybakina. World number 2. The 2022 Wimbledon champion. One of the most dangerous players in the game. Eala and Rybakina have faced each other once before. That meeting came at the Italian Open in Rome on May 10, 2026. Rybakina won in straight sets, 6-4, 6-3. For Eala, it was her first experience facing a top 2 player on clay. Even in defeat, she gained valuable experience. She discovered that she could compete with the elite. She learned that her left-handed spin and shot variety could create problems for even the world's best players. But she also learned something else. Rybakina is relentless, disciplined, powerful, and remarkably consistent from start to finish.